Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Rygo, and this week we're going to cover a wake style and park style kiteboarding video. So if you're here for the wing videos, stand by. We're alternating weekly kite and wing videos, so this one might not be for you. This video is going to be for the wake style and park crowd. So I wanted to start a series introducing how to get into park riding, what the fundamental tricks are to practice, to learn, and progress. And I know it's not the most popular or even accessible discipline, but in my opinion, it's one of the most fun disciplines there are. Back when I used to work a desk job, I was always missing sessions and I never really got the water time that I wanted, but I happened to live near a cable park, so I was able to get out and ride cable 2 to 4 hours a day, every single day, and it really grew on me and I just developed a strong passion for it. And as well, there's a bit of a stigma with park style kiteboarding where people think that it's reserved only for the pros, but the truth is that paradigm is completely wrong. I've ridden with teenagers, men and women in their 40s and their 50s at the kite park. The only downside is finding places to do it, and with that I would say you can always travel to a kite park, travel to a cable park, or you could build your own uprail for less than the price of a kiteboard. So it does take a little bit of work, but in my opinion it's easier on the body than kite loops, easier on the body than freestyle, and really it's only as intense as you want it to be. If you want to go crazy, yeah, it can be very dangerous, very difficult, and very hard on the body. But if you're just doing the fundamentals, just grinding rails, spinning off of them, that's actually, because you're going downwind, pretty mellow on the body. I can ride 4 or 5 hours in the kite park without getting completely exhausted, as opposed to say freestyle where I can do maybe 2 hours and I'm toast. But anyway, getting into it, we're gonna kick this off with what you need to know. We'll start off with the simplest trick, the 50-50. Let's dive into it. First things first, starting off with safety, I highly recommend that if you're going to do this, that you've been kiteboarding for at least 2 or 3 years, you're comfortable unhooking, you're comfortable doing basic unhook tricks like back rolls, front rolls, rallies, things like that. If you're not, that's actually okay if you're able to go to a cable park and practice riding rails for a good 2-3 weeks where you're able to stay on the rail, not fall off, and you're super comfortable. If you can do that, you're going to be a good place to get into this. Secondly, I do highly recommend wearing a helmet. So helmet is kind of essential. You are hitting a solid object. Really not a good idea. Some people do it. I don't recommend hitting features without a helmet. And if you want to go a step further, you could do like an impact vest, just something to protect your ribs if you do happen to fall. And as well, I recommend starting on a simple feature, so something well built, solid, with a safety, meaning if you mess up your ollie, you're not just going to slam into it and fall. You can kind of ride right up and across. And last but not least, make sure you remove your fins from your board. Alright, so for the setup, you're going to want to make sure that you spray down the rail and inspect it. So make sure there's no nails, screws, or broken pieces where you're going to trip up and catch your board. You want to make sure it's sprayed down so you can slide across it, and I like to just inspect the landing area and make sure there's nothing like hiding in the water, like a log or a rock or anything. I want to make sure that when I fall, there's nothing there for me to hit. And then lastly, for the direction of the rail, you want it somewhat downwind. It's debatable depending on who you ask how downwind you want. Some people like it almost straight downwind, some like it a little bit more to an angle, but you're going to angle it just a little bit off downwind in the direction that you want to go. So for the approach, come in with good speed, keep your kite at 45 degrees. It's essential to keep the kite somewhat low on this one so that it pulls you forward, and you want to have speed so you can match the speed of the kite so the kite is not pulling you super hard across the feature. You want it to be nice and easy on the arms. When you go to unhook, you're going to come off your edge, but mildly. So unlike a freestyle trick where it's a bit more of an aggressive unhook, come off the edge, load and pop, this is very mild. You're trying to set your kite, and you want to set your kite early so that you have control of it before you get onto the rail. Now if you're going to hit the rail toe side, depending on how you set the rail up, I like to pop to toe side before I unhook, and then same thing, I just ride a little bit downwind to take some of the tension out of the kite, unhook, and then set my kite at that nice controlled 45-degree angle. As you approach your rail, watch it, and then you can either slide right up the safety if the rail is built for that, or you can ollie. To do an ollie, all you have to do is push down on your back leg, bring your front leg up into your chest, and then follow up by bringing your back leg up into your chest. I do recommend practicing ollies first. You can do it at a cable park and get hours of practice continuously, or when you're riding your kite, just ride downwind and practice pushing down on the back leg, bringing the front leg up, bringing the back leg up, and then landing. And with time, you'll get super comfortable. Now as well, before you get on the rail, whether you're ollieing or riding the safety up, you do want to make sure that you're going flat, so you cannot edge your board on a rail. If you edge, like when you're cutting upwind, or pretty much the entire time you're kiteboarding, you're always favoring one edge. If you're favoring an edge on a rail, you will slip out. So you need to go completely flat and ride the rail parallel for the 50-50. Now when you're on the rail, you do want to keep the bar close to your lead hip. So one common mistake that I see a lot of people do is like let the bar get away from them because they're a little intimidated. You're on a solid feature, you're going fast, the kite's pulling you. If you did it right and you were going fast, you'll actually catch up to the speed of the kite while it's going downwind, and it'll be super easy to just slide across that rail, and it shouldn't take too much strength to keep the bar close to your hip. But you need to keep the bar close or you will get pulled off awkwardly, you're going to have a weird landing, and it will be impossible to spin later. So get in the habit of keeping that bar close. As far as your eyes, keep your eyes on the end of the rail because the body will follow the head. So if you look to the left or the right of the rail, I promise you're going to come off early to the left or the right of the rail, wherever you were looking. And ideally, if you're going to fall off the rail, you want to fall off past the rail, not to the side. If you do fall to the side, you just simply edge and ride away from it as fast as possible. But with all that said, if you keep your eyes on the end of the rail, that's where you're going to go and you'll complete the rail. For your body, you want to keep your shoulders stacked over your knees stacked over your ankles, nose of the board facing downwind with the rail, and just stay parallel. And you can get low, you don't have to get too low, but just get in a nice, kind of like a position like you're dropping in on a wave, dropping in on a half pipe, or just going fast on a skateboard. Just a balanced position, whatever's comfortable for you in a somewhat athletic stance. So to come off the rail, there's two ways to get off the rail. You can just slide right off, or a little more advanced and more controlled is to kind of hop off the rail at the very end. Either way, just come off the end of the rail, spot your landing on the water just like you would for a normal trick, and then ride downwind and bend your knees to absorb the landing, and that's basically it. Like anything, these are the fundamentals, and you're going to start with the 50-50, which is derived from skateboarding, like you're riding 50-50 on the trucks. But parallel to the rail, start here, and we'll keep moving forward with other tricks, other things, how to piece these things together so you can at least appreciate park riding or try yourself even at a cable park, and if you get a chance to visit a kite park. If you got any requests, let me know. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. I'll catch you later.